Hello, lovely lovelies, and welcome back to Top of the Morning with me, your super smiley host, Binti O'Reilly. Thanks, Deirdre, for those top tips on getting your muffins nice and moist. And now, we have a very special guest on today's Top of the Morning. Ladies and gentlemen, please give an extra warm welcome to God! Top of the morning to you, God.
Top of the morning to you, Binti. It's really great to be here.
So, God, we haven't really seen much of you lately. What have you been up to?
Well, taking it a bit easy for a change, really. Been on quite a few sightseeing trips, a bit of decorating, and my wife and I have really got into gardening recently.
You're married? We never knew.
Yes, well, we wanted it to be quite a low-key affair. Cleo didn't really want to make a big fuss.
Cleo?
Yes, Cleopatra. A few people said she was far too young for me, but she is history's hottest hottie, so I snapped her up as quickly as I could.
Wow. So, God, what made you decide to come back after all this time?
Dawkins.
Excuse me?
Richard Dawkins. I had enough of that smug twat.
The famous scientist?
Yes, that self-proclaimed genius of a scientist. I've met real scientific geniuses. Archimedes, Galileo, Nikolai Tesla. Now, they were proper scientists. This Dawkins, he writes a couple of books ripping off a few of Darwin's ideas, and everybody thinks he's so special.
But didn't the theory of evolution prove that we didn't need a god?
Who do you think created evolution? Do you have any idea of how much time and effort went into that? And then Dawkins flounces along and writes this God delusion. Am I just supposed to sit back and take that kind of abuse? How would you like it if some idiot said that they could scientifically prove that you didn't exist?
I wouldn't like it at all. So what are you going to do to him? A couple of plagues, perhaps?
No, Cleo won't let me do that sort of thing anymore. Says it gets me a bit too excited. Though I did give Dawkins bad breath and dandruff. And hemorrhoids. Just as a warning shot, but would he take the hint? No. Just goes and sets off the foundation for reason and science to wind me up again. Well, I'm not taking it anymore. You hear me, Dawkins? I'm going to get seriously biblical on your bottom. You hear me? Proper Old Testament style. You think I'm not real? Well, we'll see how real my fist is when it lands on the side of your face. You want a piece of me? Well, here I am. I'm taking you down, Dawkins. Anytime, any place.
God?
Yes?
You do seem to have a couple of teeny-weeny anger issues.
Yes, I know. I'm sorry. It's something I've been working on recently. It's also another reason I've decided to return.
Please tell us more.
Well, Binti, I've noticed that since my retirement, rather a lot of people have been literally taking my name in vain. So I decided it was time that I set the record straight and give my version of events.
So you're saying the Bible isn't completely, well, the gospel truth?
Well, most of it's true, but it's not the whole truth and nothing but the truth.
So, what is the truth?
Well, the truth is the story I'm about to tell you, and it's the greatest story ever told. Yes, greater even than Lord of the Rings, though hopefully a bit shorter.
Just a moment. Are you saying that God has watched the Lord of the Rings trilogy?
Yes, the 12-disc box set, extended edition. I've also read all the books, including the Silmarillion, which everyone else seems to have forgotten about. Probably doesn't have enough hobbits in it.
So you were going to tell us the true story of your life?
Yes, Cleo thought telling my story might help me deal with a few of my issues. She believes the process may be cathartic. Well, I say my story, but really it's the story of all of us. In the beginning was the Word.
Which was?
Sorry?
The word was sorry?
What? What word?
Sorry.
For what?
You said in the beginning was the Word, and the word was sorry?
Yes, I see the confusion. Should we start again? In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was... To be completely honest, I can't actually remember what the word was. It was a really, really, really long time ago, and I wrote it down somewhere, and now I can't find the piece of papyrus I wrote it on.
Maybe if we try not to think about it, it will just come to you.
Well, possibly. Anyway, before the beginning, I was alone in the endless darkness for a very, very long time, even though time did not yet exist.
Didn't that get rather lonely?
Incredibly lonely, though at the time I had no conception of loneliness, as there was nothing to compare it to. I wasn't lonely simply because there was no such thing as being lonely.
It sounds a little bit metaphysical.
Yes, I suppose, but when you're alone for so long, you start to think that way.
So how long are we talking about exactly?
Well, if you can imagine infinity times eternity doubled, you might get some kind of idea.
And then you created the universe in 6 days. That must have been a very busy week. No wonder you needed a rest on Sunday.
Yes, I had to create Sunday just so I could get a bit of a breather. Creating the universe is a very strenuous and difficult business. One small mistake, and you have to start the whole thing from scratch. There were quite a few universes I had to discard, actually.
Really? What did you do with them?
Well, they're what I like to call my cosmic shed. It's always useful just in case I need spare parts.
And then you created man on the following Monday.
Yes, and that's where all the trouble started, really.